13-4 at Fenway, have the best batting average in baseball, and are just one game out of first place. Friday night fright caused a week of worry for the Fenway faithful. But since then, the planets have realigned to make one thing clear. Pedro is here to eclipse that fear. Live from Fenway Park, Nesson presents Boston Red Sox baseball. Tonight, the Red Sox take on the Texas Rangers. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. The final game of this series with Texas, and all eyes on Pedro Martinez.
Well, certainly Pedro coming out of his last start with the right groin problem. But I'll tell you what, if he was anything but 100%, I don't think there's any way that Pedro himself would go out there tonight or Grady Little would send him out there. I think he's going to be okay, and he's got a great record against the Texas Rangers, 7-1 in his major league career.
Well, tonight he'll be matched up against Alan Bennis. We're back with the first pitch from Fenway after this. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. By your Boston area Lexus dealers, putting the world on notice again. And by Citizens Bank, not your typical bank. And good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Fenway Park. A little chilly here tonight. Lights already on as the Red Sox get ready to wrap up their series with the Texas Rangers. Let's take a look at the Rangers starting 9 tonight. Carl Everett back in there to lead it off in right field. Hank Blaylock at third base. Alex Rodriguez at shortstop. Rafael Palmeiro after last night off back in there. Juan Gonzalez the DH. Ruben Sierra in left. Todd Green activated from the DL does the catching. Ryan Christensen bats 8th and plays in center. And Michael Young at second base bats 9th.
The defense tonight for the Red Sox will have Bill Miller at third base, Nomar at shortstop, Todd Walker at second, and David Ortiz at first. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Johnny Damon, and Trot Nixon. Jason Veritek behind the plate, and on the mound, Pedro Martinez. Start number 9, the record of 3-2. Of course, last time out, 5 innings against Minnesota. They got 5 runs in those first 2 innings. Todd Sears had a 3-run home run, and Pedro leaving after the 5 with that tender right groin, and we'll be watching that very close tonight to see how he responds. As I mentioned down in the open, I think it's going to be fine. I don't think there's any way they would send Pedro out there unless he was 100%.
The umpiring crew tonight, Jim Wolf has a plate, Mike Everett at first, Hunter Wintelstead at second, and Larry Young, the umpire, at third. Carl Everett in there, Pedro ready, and the first pitch of this one is fouled off. Everett at 326, off to a terrific beginning to this 2003, 12 homers. And 35 runs driven in for Everett. Well, tonight is a little bit on the chilly side as it begins, and not likely to warm up as the night goes on. The wind blowing in as the ball game begins, and that flag in left center field indicating just that as it heads in towards the hitter. Pedro ready with the 2-1. The breaking ball wraps its way around the plate for a strike. 2-2.
Because with that injury, that is his push-off leg. So if you see a lot of pitches that stay up in the zone, and especially his breaking ball and his changeup, that may mean that he's having a problem with it. Doesn't appear so at this point.
Gets Everett. Martinez strikes out Carl Everett to begin his outing here tonight.
Well, let's take a look at tonight's game notes brought to you by New England Toyota dealers. The Red Sox 14-2 at home against Texas. Since '99, Red Sox 28 steals, 3rd most in the American League. And the bullpen over the last 9 games, a 1.24 ERA, only 4 earned runs in 29 innings.
One down for Hank Blaylock. Out after that first pitch from Pedro. Blaylock still the league leader at 378. In fact, he is by 28 points. Second in the American League is Rocco Baldelli at 350. But Blaylock still the league leader in hitting. Quickly in the hole, 0-2.
With that strikeout against Everett, 55 strikeouts for Pedro on the season, 10 behind Mike Messina, who leads the American League with 65.
The 0-2 to Blaylock, and he'll miss something away. Ball 1. Blaylock is not only the American League leader in batting average, he is the Major League leader in batting average. Comes in at .378. Edgar Renteria leading the National League. Blaylock strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Pedro to begin his night.
Well, the last time Pedro faced Texas this season, he got a win down in Arlington. He struck out 8 in that ball game. Season high is 12. He did that against the Twins right here at Fenway Park. Quick start tonight for Martinez. Both strikeouts on the fastball.
So 2 down, and it brings up A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez at .327, 11 home runs and 30 runs driven in so far. A terrific season for Alex Rodriguez. Quickly out of the gate. In the midst of a 10-year deal with the Texas Rangers that will bring him somewhere in the neighborhood of $252 million. Foul tip, 2-1 now to A-Rod. So Pedro off to the fast start, striking out Everett and Blaylock here out of the gate tonight on a cold night. Pedro with the long sleeves on, as many of the Red Sox have on. He comes in tight that time. The fastball has not been overpowering here in the beginning in this first inning. And the 3-1 that will just miss, held on to by Veritek for another second, but walk here with 2 down for A-Rod. Where available, tonight's broadcast can be heard in Spanish by using the SAP function on your TV set.
Buenas noches, amigos. Disfruten el juego.
Here's Rafael Palmeiro. He had last night off after playing in game 1 of the series, and he's back in there tonight at .252. 10 home runs this season, of course 500 now in his career. Little check swing grounder to Pedro on to first, and that'll do it. So the Rangers leave a runner. They get nothing. Red Sox coming up from Fenway. Back at Fenway, Texas gets nothing in the top of the first. Let's look at the Red Sox starting lineup into the bottom of the first. Johnny Damon leads it off in center field. Todd Walker at second base. Nomar at shortstop. Manny Ramirez in left. David Ortiz at first base with Kevin Millar the DH. Trot Nixon in there at .377 at home. It is Bill Miller at third base batting eighth, and Jason Veritek does the catching.
And the defense tonight for the Texas Rangers. Hank Blaylock will be at third base. A-Rod the shortstop. Michael Young at second, and Rafael Palmeiro at first. Left to right, Ruben Sierra, Ryan Christensen, and Carl Everett. Todd Green just off the disabled list will be doing the catching. And on the mound, Alan Bennis just come over from the Chicago Cubs for a player to be named later. Made one start. That was against Cleveland back on the 10th. Only lasted 3 1/3 innings in that game, allowing 6 hits and 4 earned runs.
Here is Johnny Damon to begin the action tonight. He takes strike 1 right out of the gate. Damon at .237, 5 homers, and 16 runs batted in. Hank Blaylock, the third baseman for the Rangers, in at the lip of the grass at third in case Damon entertains any thoughts of bunting his way on. He'll slice it foul off the left side.
Bennis spent some time at Iowa in AAA, a couple of starts there, 3 appearances for the Cubs, all of those out of the bullpen, and 1 start since coming over to Texas.
31-year-old right-hander. Missing down and in this time to Damon. 2-2 the count. Stands at 6'5", 240 pounds, pretty well put together. Came from the Cubs for a player to be named later. Just 6 days ago, May the 9th, he was acquired by the Texas Rangers. The 2-2. Damon will send it foul again.
Well, unbelievable. A very rare good play in a luxury box.
Wow. A little lunging went on there. Chasing up top. Full count now to Damon. Send it foul down past Mike Cubbage. Rattles around down there off the short fencing.
First time, obviously, that Bennis has faced the Red Sox. Bill Miller's faced him a few times over in the National League. Miller hitting 8th in the lineup tonight.
Bennis, originally picked by the Padres in the 49th round in '90, did not sign, and then the Cardinals came calling in '93. This is grounded to second. Young will throw out Damon. Well, the Cardinals made him their first round choice, 16th overall in 1993. That time he signed and came up through the Cardinals system, spending 5 years, actually parts of 6 years, with the St. Louis Cardinals, and enjoyed his finest season in 1996 when he compiled 13 wins, was 13-10 for the Cards.
Yeah, and then after that had some arm problems. Really missed the better part of a couple of seasons with arm difficulty. A couple of operations.
Had shoulder surgery on September 3rd of '97 to repair partially torn rotator cuff.
Tell you what, the fans are ready tonight.
I guess when you get a good play in a luxury box, that just goes all through the stadium.
A couple of great grabs right out of the gate. He's fired up. The 0-2 to Walker. That'll miss inside. Well, fans trying to stay loose here tonight on a chilly night on this May the 15th at Fenway.
Isn't this ridiculous?
This is unbelievable.
May the 15th, we still got that dumb sea breeze coming in and making it about at least 10 degrees cooler than what it is inland.
And the wind certainly adds to the effect, and it is blowing in right now. Walker pops up the 1-2 above us and out of play. Bennis in his second appearance with the Texas Rangers, roughed up the first time around. Inside to Walker, and the lengthy at bat continues. He's fouled off a bevy of pitches. 2-2 the count. The Red Sox a game back of the Yankees heading into tonight's action. The Red Sox are 25-14. A very impressive home mark of 13-4 for Boston. And they've gotten this homestand, a rather lengthy one, off on a good start. Headed to Michael Young on the ground, and the second baseman throws out Todd Walker. 2 down.
Hard to figure, Don. You know, you look at the home record this season. A year ago, the Red Sox had trouble at home.
What's the explanation? I have no explanation for it.
We were talking about it last year when they had such an incredible road record, the best in the major leagues at one point. You know, what makes that easier for you on the road that would not be as easy here at home? There's no way really to tell. But so far, very impressive here at the friendly confines of Fenway. Omar opting not to swing at the first pitch, and he's ahead. So while the Red Sox are a game out of first, the Texas Rangers are 8 games back of the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners. The Rangers are 16-23 heading into tonight's action. Omar pops it up right side. Michael Young has a chance to contribute with all 3 putouts or assists. In this case, it's a putout. In order to go the Red Sox in the first, we played 1. No score from Fenway. Back at Fenway, scoreless. On to the second inning, and leading it off is Juan Gonzalez, the Texas DH. Gonzalez with 13 home runs coming into tonight's action, the league leader in the American League. Check swing grounder. Nomar ranging to his left. The throw a little bit off the mark, but in time as Ortiz had to lean towards the home plate side.
Well, H.P. Hood is rooting for the Red Sox and kids throughout New England. Each time the Red Sox strike out an opponent, make a double play, or hit a home run at Fenway, Hood donates $100 to the Hood Home Team Advantage Fund, which in turn benefits children's hospitals all over New England.
One down for Ruben Sierra, who gets a start in left field for Texas tonight. He came on to run last night. Did not start in last night's game, but gets the start in left tonight, as he ran for Mark Teixeira, who had been hit by a pitch last night, not in the lineup tonight. Sierra at .247, 2 homers and 6 runs batted in. On the ground, off the bag, Ortiz knocks it down, flips to Pedro, not in time. A change direction on Ortiz after it hit the bag. He was able to knock it down, but on at first is Ruben Sierra.
Now, Ortiz really made a great effort on this. So once the ball hits the bag, I mean, generally infielders don't even get a glove on it. Ortiz very tall and somehow is able to get the glove on it, but can't quite complete the play. Picks it up, the underhand flip, but Sierra just beats it at first base.
At Teixeira, you were mentioning he got hit in the hand last night. They took him for x-rays. The x-rays are negative, but I'm sure that hand pretty sore today.
I'm sure it is, as he is not in the lineup tonight. Sierra is and has an infield hit, the first hit for either side tonight. He stands at first with 1 out. And here's Todd Green hitting at 179. He's just activated from the DL as Todd Green. He was placed on the DL on April 30th with a strained right hamstring muscle after he sustained the injury running the bases on April 29th in Toronto. So he's been out the last 13 games.
Be a tough way to break back into the lineup. You know, you've been on the DL, and the first guy you face on a chilly night is Pedro Martinez. I might want to wait a day or something. I don't know.
We saw David Segui do that earlier.
Yeah.
Baltimore this year was activated just in time to face Pedro. The 1-1 to Green. Let's send that foul back to the backstop.
Pretty good hack at that high fastball.
To make room for Todd Green, catcher Gerald Laird was optioned to Oklahoma of the Pacific Coast League. Sierra at first, held on by David Ortiz with 1 out here in the visiting half of the second inning. Got him. Went up top to do so. Third strikeout for Pedro. 2 down.
Well, the K-men are in a different place again tonight. They're out in center field. They're trying to find a comfortable home for those strikeouts that Pedro puts up there. Another fastball up about letter high. All 3 strikeouts tonight coming on the fastball. There they are.
That's not a bad spot, actually.
No, that's pretty good.
They got the railing in front. That's a pretty good spot. They have been all over this ballpark trying to find the right spot. And that's pretty good. This is Ryan Christensen, the center fielder for the Rangers. Just up over 200 at 202. 2 homers and 12 runs batted in. The next pitch from Martinez, who's 25th. As this one fouled back below us. Pedro walked Alex Rodriguez in the first inning. He gave up an infield hit to Ruben Sierra in this inning. The Rangers have had 2 base runners so far. The 0-2 fouled off again.
Now this very well could be a big strikeout night for Pedro. The Rangers is the only team that struck out more than the Rangers are the Toronto Blue Jays. And as I mentioned, Pedro did have the 8 in that first outing down in Arlington.
Under warmer conditions, I might add.
And the 0-2 is in there for strike 3. Fourth strikeout for Pedro. Gone are the Rangers in the second. Inning and a half done, no score. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Bob Stores. We know our customers and the brands they live in. By Coors Light, cold down easy. And by Volvo, the official vehicle of the Red Sox. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at frigid Fenway, ready for the bottom of the second inning. A cool night with the wind blowing in very hard from center field. They tell us 15 miles per hour, that wind out there. As Manny Ramirez leads it off here in the last of the second inning. Alan Bennis had a 1-2-3 first against the Red Sox. Manny at .331, 5 homers and 25 runs driven in. Batting average has him currently parked 7th in the American League. And the only member of the Red Sox in the top 10 as far as batting average goes. But the Red Sox as a club come into tonight's action tied for the top spot in the American League. The Red Sox collectively as a club hitting at .284. They're tied with the Toronto Blue Jays. Kind of surprising. And he couldn't hold up, and it evens up at 2-2. So we'll get by Green to the backstop. Full count to Ramirez. Bennis made 3 relief appearances with Chicago this season after being recalled from Iowa on April 16th. Earned his first save of his pro career with a 3-inning performance on April 17th against Cincinnati. And he pops this up. Down from third comes Blaylock, still coming, and now Bennis almost got in the way, but Blaylock steps around him to make the catch.
Well, game time is Miller time at Fenway and on Nesson. Stop by a participating Fenway area retailer before game, and you will win free tickets to the game. End up on Nesson in the game time is Miller time. Fenway seats.
One down. The first 4 retired by Alan Bennis tonight. It brings up David Ortiz. .227, a home run. 12 runs batted in for the Red Sox first baseman. David was 3 for 3 with a double, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored, lifting his average to its highest point of the year as he stands in at .227. Game 1 of the series. Outfield straight away. The deepest is in right. Carl Everett. With the 2 home wins last night for the Red Sox, they lead the 9-game season series 3 games to 2, heading into the final game of this series. To center field, and Ortiz has a base hit with 1 down. First base runner of the night for Boston.
Now that fastball so far from Bennis, it's only been around 87, 88 miles an hour, so he's got to locate it perfectly like he did to Ramirez, who was up and in. He got him to pop up, but that fastball out over the plate, and Ortiz picks up the base hit. One out, one on for Kevin Millar, the DH. Under 300 now at 293. After spending the bulk of this season above 300. In the air to shallow center field. Out goes the shortstop Alex Rodriguez and the second baseman Young, and it'll be Michael Young. Just 2 short strides on the outfield grass. 2 down.
Right fielder number 7, Trot Nixon.
Anything like that's going to get likely knocked back towards the infield. That wind blowing in from center field to begin the game tonight. 2 down. Ortiz at first, and here comes Trot Nixon.
Kind of weather reminds me a little bit of Candlestick, old Candlestick Park. You know, it was right there on the ocean, and anytime you got that breeze, I mean, inland it could be 85 degrees and it was 55 at Candlestick. Same effect here at Fenway when the breeze is blowing in off the ocean.
At the end of the bat, grounded towards A-Rod. He will take it alone and force out Ortiz. We played 2 from Fenway, no score. Back at Fenway, ready for the top of the 3rd inning. The number 9 hitter, Michael Young, to get us started. Young is the number 9 hitter, but he totes pretty good batting average of .317. 3 homers and 18 runs batted in. Pedro with 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings tonight.
And no sign at all of any problem with the injury that caused him to leave last game against Minnesota.
On the center field for a base hit. And the 2nd hit of the night for the Texas Rangers.
Well, win a LoJack stolen vehicle recovery system by entering the LoJack caught stealing sweepstakes at boston.com/Nesson. Every time the Sox catch a runner stealing, go to the website and enter the date, opponent, and runner caught stealing for your chance to win.
So the base hit by Michael Young, the first time tonight that the Texas Rangers have had the lead man on. And he is at first for Carl Everett as the Rangers go 2nd time through against Pedro. Everett trying to bunt his way on and pops it up foul. Carl, a strikeout victim in the 1st inning. Well, you mentioned we've seen no signs of Pedro having any kind of problems tonight. We've not seen any kind of extraordinary stretching either at any point tonight.
Nope.
Bunted back towards the mound. Pedro will handle it and throw out Everett at first. On to second goes Young, and it's like the Rangers playing for a run early in this game.
Well, you don't expect to score many against Pedro Martinez, especially the way that he's pitched against the Rangers. So Joe Walton going with the sacrifice early in the ball game to try to get one up on the Red Sox.
So runner in scoring position with 1 out. Here's Hank Blaylock, who struck out swinging his first time. 25 points better than Rocco Baldelli and Brad Fulmer for the top spot in the American League. This is a guy who just hit .211 last year in his first season with the Texas Rangers and in the big leagues, and was so ineffective that he was sent back to Oklahoma, the AAA ball club for the Texas Rangers. In there for a strike. Pedro 3-2 with a 3.15 earned run average as he makes his 9th start of the year here tonight. Blaylock with a wild swing. 1-2.
No problem keeping that changeup down for Pedro. That pitch was never really in the strike zone.
35 pitches so far for Pedro. 24 of them have been for strikes. And this Blaylock stays alive. And out goes Veritek to talk to Martinez. Pedro's only appearance against Texas this season, a 5-4 victory. When he left the ball game, the score was 5-1 after 7 innings of 3 hit pitching, giving up 1 run. It was unearned. Struck out 8 and walked 6 in his only outing this year against Texas. In the air to right field. Nixon moving in as the wind knocks that down a little bit, and Trot makes the catch for out number 2.
Shortstop, number 3, Alex Rodriguez.
2 down for Alex Rodriguez, who walked his first time up. He is 2 for 11 so far in the last 3 games, but over the last 15 games still hitting at .381. And Pedro starts off ahead, 91 miles per hour that time for a strike. Right now the AL leader in strikeouts is Alex Rodriguez with 43 Ks so far this year. And in the hole here very quickly, 0-2. Going back out. We talked to Pedro. These guys sort of been going back and forth here, and Veritek will head back in behind the dish. Looked like the first time he left he wasn't sure what they talked about, and then went back to confirm once again.
Well, a guy like Rodriguez will make you have a few meetings at the mound.
The 0-2 from Pedro. He gets a piece and chops it foul. Alex Rodriguez, 43 strikeouts this season, but has still managed to hit .327. Home run total not shabby either. 11 home runs so far for A-Rod. The 0-2 backs him up a tad. The Rangers with 4 players in the top 10 in home runs. Juan Gonzalez 13, Everett 12, A-Rod 11, and Palmeiro with 10. The 1-2 struck him out. 5th strikeout for Pedro gone. Are the Rangers 2.5 in the books, no score. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by your Lincoln Mercury dealers. And by Locat, keep it close. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park as we embark on the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Red Sox have been held to a hit, and Pedro on the other side of things has racked up 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. He has held the Rangers to 2 hits. And Alan Bennis takes his spot atop the hill, ready to deal with Bill Miller, who goes after the first pitch.
Wow, another good play.
You know what it is? You know, you often say that the infielders are on the tips of their toes when pitchers work quickly. Well, the crowd has been on the tips of their toes with some outstanding plays here in the crowd tonight so far on a chilly night.
Yeah, I'd have to say early performance by the fans better tonight than at any other game this year at Fenway.
The 0-1 to Miller, and that's in there for a strike. Bill Miller has hit safely in his last 13 starts. That is a tad deceiving in that he did have a pinch hit appearance the other night to snap a 12-game hitting streak, but in the games that he started, he's had a hit in all 13. And over the last 13 games, hitting at .408. And of all the Red Sox, Bill Miller's a guy who's had some time to face Alan Bennis. Is that our first misplay of the evening?
Yeah, I think it did end up back down in the grandstand section.
Held off the left deck up into a luxury box. Doesn't make the catch when you're on the phone. It's one of those hazards of being on the phone. The 1-2 down and in to Miller. Well, Alan Bennis getting the start here tonight for the Texas Rangers. They hope that he is a guy that can log some innings for them, and still looking for some starting pitching. Ismael Valdez, the starter, is rehabbing in the Texas League for Texas. And did Miller turn into that pitch and get hit, or did he get the bat?
I think he got the bat done. And if it didn't get the bat, it would have probably got him right in the chest. Fastball inside. Here comes the aborted swing.
Wow. That's a defensive swing. This one backs him up again, and it's a full count now to Bill Miller. First time the Texas Rangers have been 7 games under 500 this season at 16-23. Miller sends it foul down the left field line. Has had to throw 44 pitches so far through 2+ innings.
Yeah, Bill Miller has a lot of these type of at bats too. Foul off a lot of pitches, make the pitcher throw a lot of pitches to him.
He's not an easy out. And he's not out this time as he works the leadoff walk to begin things here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Well, the Boston Marriott Copley Place is now offering triple play baseball packages. A 2-night stay for 2 at the Copley Marriott, daily breakfast for 2 at Gourmet's Restaurant, and 2 infield grandstand tickets to a Red Sox game. For details, call the Copley Marriott triple play hotline at 617-937-5600.
Miller aboard to begin things here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's Jason Varitek. He bats 9th, hitting at .265, 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. Jason this year with 27 hits, 14 of which have gone for extra bases. 8 doubles, a triple, and 5 home runs. Against right-handers this year, Varitek had .203 against lefties at .429. A 1-0. Golf foul off the left side, and that'll get back and out of play. Bennis spending pretty much all of his career with the St. Louis Cardinals until last year when he joined the Chicago Cubs. He was 2-2 in 7 starts this year, beginning the year in the Cubs organization, but now with Texas. And ahead of Varitek, 1-2. This is brother Andy, pitched in the majors from '89 through 2002 with 4 different ball clubs. They're actually teammates for a while with the St. Louis Cardinals, 96 and 97, and again in 2000 and 2001. And his brother Andy has just finished up his career retiring. Actually had a younger brother, Adam, who was a former minor league player, also in the St. Louis Cardinals system at one point. The 1-2. Varitek sends it foul.
Now this is not a good sign, all these foul balls. We need a quick game tonight because the world comes to an end at 10:30.
That could be the lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to thank everybody who sent letters and emails today. Heard from astronomers, heard from professors. Someone in one email even referred to me as Carl Sagan. I now know what a lunar eclipse is and I have a much better grasp. Had some help from the fans tonight as well. Thank you very much. Wally is ready also for this eclipse, apparently.
Scared the little guy to death last night, I'll tell you. You know, our relationship has been kind of on and off, but I felt bad for the little dude last night. He couldn't sleep. He was up every 5 minutes. On the way to the park today, he made me stop at Harvard to talk to a couple professors who went to the Museum of Science. He still doesn't believe the world's not going to end at 10:30 tonight.
I like the glasses. The sunglasses are the best effect.
Yeah, when that sun comes out, look out. We're all going to be toast.
Well, good at bat here for Varitek and a full count. I figured it would be all over when I got to the ballpark today, figuring that I had gotten all the emails out of the way. The fans had contacted us either through Nesson or through email. When I got here, and Tim Wakefield then needed to see me and go over what a lunar eclipse was as well. Miller takes off, and Varitek fouls off yet another pitch. So Wakefield covered it very, very well. In fact, he made it very easy for me. A lot of the diagrams I got today still were very confusing. But Wakefield did it in a way that even I could understand.
And that is?
That is that the Earth actually shadows the moon. Varitek strikes out. Miller was running, and Miller, he is out. Strike him out, throw him out, and there's quickly 2 down in the inning.
Looked like a changeup that time from Bennis to pick up the strikeout, because Miller does not have great speed, but they send him. And Todd Green, who just coming off the DL, throws out his first guy of the year. He's now 1 for 5, throwing out base runners.
So Todd Green just activated before the ball game tonight and throws out Bill Miller. 2 down, and here is Johnny Damon. And in the dirt, 2-0 now to Damon. See, now you can't even tell if my theory was right because it's so cloudy up there. You won't really know if the sun comes out or not.
Oh no! When the sun comes out in front of the Earth, you'll feel it.
First strike.
There's not many clouds that are going to hold that.
So it is the Earth's shadow.
Forget it.
That covers the moon.
You're going to mess it up again.
No. I have a great grasp now. And then the solar one during the day, the moon blocks out the sun, which is the other eclipse that you can have.
That's a total eclipse of the sun.
I'm now Joe Eclipse. And this is away, and it is a walk for Johnny Damon with 2 outs in the inning. The second walk given up by Bennis, a 2-out walk.
Second baseman, number 12, Todd Walker.
And Todd Green, the catcher, out to talk to the starters. They will get ready to face Todd Walker. Walker grounded out to second base his first time up in the first inning in his career against the Rangers. The bulk of that spent with the Minnesota Twins for Todd Walker. It's a nice start to his Red Sox career this season.
Johnny Damon, a perfect 9 for 9 in steals this season. He's 3rd in the league behind Jerry Hairston. Hairston with 12, and Carl Crawford of Tampa Bay, he has 10.
Ahead 2-0. And Miller led the inning off with a walk. Varitek struck out with Miller on the move and turned out to be a strike him out, throw him out double play. Miller gunned down. And Johnny Damon walked. He's at first with 2 outs in the inning. Already the 63rd pitch from the right-hander Alan Bennis. A lot of the Red Sox hitters have gone deep into counts and fouled off a lot of Alan Bennis pitches. Well, Hershiser looking on. The Bulldog, pitching coach for Texas. Damon at first, and the hit and run works into left center field. Damon still running. He'll be stopped at third by Cubbage. Todd Walker into left center field with a base hit. The Red Sox have runners at the corners with 2 down.
Well, with Damon off at first base, that's going to pull A-Rod out of position. Watch him come into a pitcher to cover second base, and Walker finds that vacant hole, and a little first and third action with 2 outs.
It was Nomar last night who hit a 2-run home run in the last of the first inning to get the Red Sox off on the right foot last night. In game 2 of the series, he's riding the 15-gamer at 328. Nomar popped out to second base his first time up. In the air, down the line and right. Everett moving over. It's falling fast, and Everett will dive and not make the catch. Damon's in easily. Walker will try to score all the way from first. He will easily. And to third goes Nomar. 2 runs in. Red Sox on top, 2-0.
Well, you could see that coming. The way the breeze is blowing here at Fenway Park, it just knocked that ball down and kept pushing it away from Carl Everett. Everett tries to make the catch around the shoestring, but gets by him, and once it does, 2 runs come across to score. On a night where that wind's blowing out, that's just kind of a routine play in right field.
The fans out there in the right field corner really giving him the business right now. With 2 down, and Manny out after the first pitch. Sends it right side. The first baseman, Palmeiro, all of a sudden became part of the play and makes the catch with the wind knocking it down. 2 runs in, 3 innings done. 2-0 Boston.
Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right.
The Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. By Jeep, only in a Jeep. And by Samuel Adams Boston Lager, always a good decision. On to the top of the 4th inning. Red Sox now on top 2-0. Pedro Martinez with 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, and now a lead in which to work with for the first time tonight, with the Red Sox on top 2-0. And the pitchers on this chilly night certainly allowed to blow on the hands. The shift on for Rafael Palmeiro, who remarkably in the 500 home runs that he has, he does not have a home run against Pedro Martinez. See the closest to 3,000 is Palmeiro on that list.
Had been struggling too before he got that home run. 6 for his last 32. That's not unusual when guys are going for a milestone.
Chop to first, and there's Ortiz to take it alone. Let's check in with Tom Caron. Tom?
Don, thank you. The nomadic tale of the K-Men continues. Lefty, one of the K-Men. There were some high-level negotiations with the Red Sox here before the game tonight, and this is a new location.
Yeah, as you pointed out, Tom, we've been moving each game, and finally the Red Sox came to us and approached us and said, we'd like you on the Monster tonight for one trial night.
One trial night. Dominicus, what did they tell you guys?
Well, we got to behave ourselves, but we're the K-Men. We have a platform. We're anti-wave, anti-alcohol, and anti-Taliban, so they don't have to worry about us.
There you go. It's all good up here on the Monster. The K-Men are ready to go, guys.
That'll fall for a base hit. And heading for second base now is Juan Gonzalez, who just gets in. The wind is going to play with everything tonight.
Yep, sure is. And Ramirez, who plays a very shallow left field, still could not get to that ball. Drops between himself and Garcia Parra, and pretty good hustle here by Gonzalez to get himself into second base. The man, he called him off right at the last second. It looked like Nomar was getting ready to make the play on that pop-up. Tip your cap to Gonzalez. A lot of guys hit pop-ups like that. They barely make first base. He's standing on second.
Into scoring position with one out, and Ruben Sierra standing in. He is one of 3 hits now off Pedro tonight. Sierra reached on an infield hit that actually hit the bag at first, his first time up. Well, I hope that the K-Men find their permanent home up there. That's a terrific spot for them.
I'll tell you what, they've got an excellent spokesman up there for their group.
Dominicus. Is that what his name was, I think?
I think so.
I said it right.
Anti-wave.
No alcohol, no Taliban, I believe, is the 3 that he covered. And the boys have the correct number of Ks up there for Pedro. 5 strikeouts.
In case you're wondering about the one that's backwards, that's caught looking.
I thought you were going to say, in case you're wondering about the guy that doesn't have his face painted red, as we're looking at that group up there.
That's TC.
Okay. But he does have the shirt. That is a terrific shirt. The K-Men shirt. The 1-2 to Sierra. It'll pop up. The wind has been troublesome, but Nomar appears to have it sized up and does. 2 down. Time now for the Aflac trivia question. And our question tonight, Name the last pitcher to win 300 games. We'll have the answer for you in the next half inning. That's what happens when you combine name, looking ahead to last, it becomes lame. It's Name the last pitcher with 300 victories. Have the answer for you in the next half. Todd Green, a strikeout victim his first time. Green did his rehab work at Double-A Frisco. Will miss. 1-1, framed by Jason Varitek. Pedro has showed no signs of having any problem with the groin. It was his right groin that tightened up last time out, and on a cold night here tonight, no extra stretching, no signs of anything so far from Pedro. He has jumped ahead here 1-2.
It's almost like every time there's a man on second and they get 2 strikes on a hitter, there's a conference between Varitek and Pedro, and probably so he doesn't have to put down a sign or give a location.
Gonzalez at second base with 2 away. They end the 1-2. Got him. Strikeout number 6 for Pedro Martinez. We played 3.5 from Fenway. It's 2-0 Boston. Add another, boys. Back Back at Fenway with the Red Sox on top 2-0. Let's check out how we have gotten to this point so far. Nomar Garciaparra with a 2-run triple. Todd Walker with a single and a run, and Johnny Damon with a walk and a run. Pedro through 4 innings has given up 3 hits, 1 walk. He has struck out 6. And Alan Bennis, 3 innings, giving up 2 runs, both earned on 3 hits so far for the right-handed Texas starter, who's thrown 67 pitches so far tonight. And all eyes, of course, on Pedro Martinez tonight. Everybody wondering about that groin situation, and everything has been very, very good so far tonight for Pedro. Ortiz out after the first pitch. David singled to center field his first time up. Ortiz, who plays winter ball in the Dominican often, and he is hosting the clubhouse manager from the team in the Dominican, who's here visiting the Red Sox, and was in the clubhouse before the ball game with him. A lot of the guys that have played on that winter league team in the Dominican, knowing the clubhouse manager, who visited some of the Red Sox before the ball game. This is grounded, and diving at short, A-Rod gets up and throws a little bit wildly. Off the bag goes Palmeiro. Pretty good bid by A-Rod, even to get there in the first place.
I couldn't tell if this ball popped out of the glove and then had to pick it up again, but a tremendous play just getting to it. Going to the dive. Yeah, there it is. It bounces out of the glove, but right back in. But the throw's going to be a little bit off target. I think Ortiz would have beat that anyway, even with the good throw. Palmeiro doing the wise thing by coming off the bag, keep that ball from getting by him, and maybe 2 bases for Ortiz.
Second hit tonight for David Ortiz. The Red Sox have 4 in the game, and here is Kevin Millar. Popped out to second base, first time up. And here the wind as it cranks in. Millar sends it out of the reach of Hank Blaylock at third into left. And the Red Sox on back-to-back hits have the first 2 men on here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's time now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. In the last pitcher to win 300 games. Your old teammate Nolan Ryan of the Texas Rangers, July 31st of 1990 against the Milwaukee Brewers. Prior to that, you got to go to 86, Don Sutton. 85, Phil Niekro. Also in 85, Tom Seaver did it with the White Sox. 83, Steve Carlton, and 1982, Gaylord Perry did it with Seattle. Trot Nixon grounded out his first time up.
So a new commercial that Nolan was making when we were downplaying the Rangers in Texas. Plus he did those Advil commercials for a long time. Looked pretty good. Looked like he was in good shape. I'd say he from the right side and Randy Johnson from the left side had to be the 2 most intimidating pitches.
Nixon sends this to right center field. That'll fall for a base hit. David Ortiz being waved around. He is in, and the Red Sox lead it 3-0.
Now Nixon was real hot before he had to miss a couple of games because of that left eye problem. Had an 0 for 2 last night, but picks up the base hit here to drive in his 19th run of the season. David Ortiz doing a lot of running. Had to run hard to first base, and now scores from second base on the base hit by Nixon. And that's going to bring Oral Hershiser out, as there is some activity down in the bullpen for the Rangers.
A lot of pitches for this pitcher that is in his second appearance with the Texas Rangers, as you see Todd Van Poppel up in the bullpen. He has thrown 76 pitches here in the early going as he works with nobody out in the last of the 4th inning. You mentioned Nolan Ryan. What kind of teammate was he?
Great teammate. Terrific guy. I mean, you're not going to find any better. You know, he was one of those guys in the day where a rookie came up and was treated like, you know, the bottom of the barrel. He always treated people with respect, and naturally, when you treat people that way, you respect him a lot.
And I imagine he was the kind of guy that if you got hit.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's certainly a guy you wanted on your side. There's no question about that. He had a mean streak in him. And you don't become great pitchers unless you have a bit of a mean streak.
2 on, nobody out. A run already in, and here's Bill Miller, who has been very, very good this year in a Red Sox uniform. Close to 400 over the last 13 games for Bill Miller. Scrappy player and a pest at the plate. He has fouled off a lot of Alan Bennis pitches here tonight already, as he appears here just for his second at bat, walking the first time against Bennis. And he falls behind Miller, 2-0. Takes a hack at the 2-0 and can't get it. Dennis last year making 7 late season starts for the Cubs, going 2-2 with a 4.35 earned run average. Started September 6th at St. Louis against his brother. First time brothers had opposed each other since August 29th of '96, when Ramon and Pedro squared off at Olympic Stadium. And another clash of the brothers. And of course, Pedro and Ramon having the chance to pitch on the same ball club with the Red Sox here. 2-2 to Bill Miller. Sliced foul down the left field line. You know, I got the chance to know Ramon a little bit when he was down in Pawtucket. Not very, very well, but he came down to rehab, trying to work his way back. It was my impression that Pedro and Ramon are about as different as you can get in terms of their personalities. Pedro very animated and outgoing, and Ramon seemed to be more of an introvert a little bit and a lot more quiet.
Yeah, but Pedro also had a tremendous amount of respect for his brother.
Miller laces this to right. It gets down and it heads for the corner. Millar will head for the plate. So will Nixon. One runs in. Here comes Trott all the way around. He's in. To third goes Bill Miller. The Red Sox on top, 5-0.
Now, Bill Miller is just an extra base machine for the Red Sox. 32 hits now on the season, 14 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs. All the way down in that right field corner, going around the boards. By the time Everett's able to chase it down, a couple of more runs in, the Red Sox have their second triple of the night, and that's going to be the night for Bennis.
So he hangs around for 3+, but a tough inning here in the bottom of the 4th. The Red Sox, on the benefit of 4 hits, have got to him for 3 additional runs. And he will be headed off here after 3+ innings. New pitcher coming on. Red Sox on top, 5-0.
5-0 Red Sox here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, there are 9 games left on this homestand, 3 with Anaheim this weekend. Then the Yankees come to town Monday through Wednesday. And next weekend, come out to see the Sox take on the Indians. Tickets are available 24 hours a day, toll free at 877 Red Sox 9 at redsox.com and during business hours here at Fenway.
Alan Alan Bennis gone after 3+ innings, giving up 7 hits so far. He's given up 5 runs. Responsible still for Miller, who stands at third. He walked 2 and struck out 1. He turns things over to Todd Van Poppel.
Opened the season out of the Sable list with a strained right groin. Just recently joined the Texas Rangers. Has made 1 start for the Rangers in his 4th appearance overall. Only 8 1/3 innings, 10 hits allowed. Opponents hitting .270 off Van Poppel.
Miller at third base, one of 2 triples tonight for the Red Sox as Jason Varitek stands in. Varitek, a strikeout victim, swinging in the 3rd. Infield in for the Texas Rangers, as they're now trying to preserve a 5-run deficit.
That start that Van Poppel made on May 3rd against Cleveland, that was his first start since back in the year 2000 against St. Louis. 109 relief appearances between starts.
He's a veteran, 31 years of age, 6'5", 235 pounds. First reaching the major leagues with the Oakland A's back in 1991. A strike to Varitek, and it evens up at 2-2. With Oakland from 91 through 96, and Detroit, Texas in 98. To the Cubs for parts of 2 years, and then back to Texas. Into right for Varitek, and in from third comes Miller. Red Sox lead it 6-0. 5th consecutive hit here in the bottom of the 4th.
4 singles and 1 triple. Infield pulled in for Varitek. All you got to do is make that infield to move a couple of steps. The range obviously limited playing in, and Red Sox pick up another run.
Here's Johnny Damon. Damon 0 for 1 with a walk.
I guess when Miller hits a single, we shouldn't count that. Got to be a double, triple.
He's all about extra base hits so far this season, and in this stretch anyway. Of all the acquisitions you heard about during the offseason, he was the least heralded coming into spring training, and has been a marvelous pickup for Theo Epstein and the Red Sox. Well, 4 pitches. Johnny Damon gets the walk. 2nd time tonight he's walked. 6 in a row to reach here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Number 12, Todd Walker.
So 2 on, nobody out. Todd Walker is singled and grounded out. He has scored a run tonight. On the ground, right side. Michael Young to second for 1, on to first. They turn the double play, and on to third goes Jason Varitek with 2 down.
You got 2 real good defensive players in the middle of the infield for the Rangers. Michael Young, very solid defensively at second base, and of course we all know about A-Rod. Between them, they've only got 3 errors on the season, 2 by Young and 1 by Rodriguez.
Well, the book is closed on Alan Bennis. 3+, 7 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1. This one will skip away from Green, and it quickly ricochets back to him. No chance for Varitek.
Pretty good read by Varitek. That ball just really carrying back hard back toward the catcher. Anytime you see the ball go by like that, you figure a guy's going to score easy, but that ball just really bounced back to Todd Green. Veritek, if he continues, only would have been out by about 20 feet. Pretty good decision. Hey, that might be Sam Adams' decision of the game.
Let's go right ahead right now and say that that should be the good decision of the game, since we've been kind of scuffling the last couple of nights coming up with one. Omar is the 8th man to bat in the inning for Boston. Tripled his last time up and drove in a pair. As he takes the strike, thought he was going to take the walk. It's now 3-1. Got the bad news from Jim Wolf.
Omar almost never says a word to an umpire.
Ball 4. Second walk of the inning given up by Todd Van Poppel since he has come on. I think it's better to have some kind of relationship with the umpire if you're always up there talking to him, not always being confrontational, but to talk to him from time to time.
I think it goes both ways. You know, you can have a pleasant relationship, but I don't think it gets you any pitches. I think guys get a lot of respect when they don't talk to him at all.
Manny is the 9th Red Sox hitter in the bottom of the 4th inning.
It's always that one guy that seems like you have problems with, you know, and it's not always their fault. A lot of times it's your own fault. But you just don't seem to see eye to eye on anything, you know.
Was there one that stuck out for you that you just didn't get along with?
I got along with all of them. There was a couple that didn't like me, though. There were more than one.
Chopped out of the reach of the third baseman. Blaylock into left. Veritek will scamper home, and the Red Sox grab their 7th run on top, 7-0.
Manny picks up RBI number 26. The beat goes on for the Red Sox here in the 4th inning. There's been a couple of this inning gone by the dive of Blaylock at third base.
David Ortiz began the inning with an infield hit to shortstop. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game tonight. On that cut, 1-1 now to Ortiz. I can't imagine with as even keeled as you are that you got run very much. You could have been more than ejected maybe once or twice in your career.
Yeah, I wish it was once or twice. And you know what?
More than that?
Most of the time, it really was not the umpire's fault. It's your own fault.
To right, Everett this time moves back and makes the catch to retire the side. Red Sox sent 10 men to the plate, and they're able to come up with 5. On top now, 7-0. The Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Crown Royal. Enjoy its smooth taste with friends tonight. By New England Toyota dealers, get the feeling. And by Citizens Bank, not your typical bank. It's on now to the top of the 5th inning. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park. And the Red Sox with 2 in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th. On top now, 7-0 for Pedro Martinez. He will face Ryan Christensen, Michael Young, and Carl Everett here in the top of the 5th inning.
Is he out of the box? No, says the umpire.
He's definitely on the move.
Drops the back leg, trying to drop one down at third base line. Comes up to hit him, but he's still in the batter's box, so he is not out.
Christensen struck out his first time, one of 6 Pedro strikeouts. drops in there for a strike. 1-2. Pedro with 57 pitches so far, 41 for strikes. Also away, 2-2. Struck him out. 7th strikeout for Pedro. Struck out Green to end the 4th. He opens the 5th with a strikeout of Ryan Christensen.
Well, get the Globe's award-winning sports coverage every day. Call 1-800-984-5335 for 50% off home delivery. The Boston Globe, your world unfolding daily.
One down for Michael Young. Young singled his first time, one of only 3 hits off Pedro on this one. You gonna do my side too?
Sure, if you want.
Thank you. It's outstanding. Easy.
Need to close the windows, a little chilly. But problem is a little dirty, so we couldn't see out. A little housekeeping.
Nice work.
There you go, Wally.
Make sure Wally's area there is as good as ours.
How's that, better?
Very nice. Got all the fingerprints off. It did look like Spider-Man had crawled all over the front of our window here. If this doesn't work out for you, that maybe window washing is something you may want to look into.
All right, now we can see the field.
Strike 3, back-to-back Ks for Pedro, 8 in all, and 2 quick outs here in the 5th.
Well, maybe the Texas Rangers were hoping tonight that Pedro was still bothered by the bad leg, but that's certainly not the case at all. Pinpoint location, fastball away. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th.
Two down as Everett stands in. He struck out in the 1st. Dropped a sacrifice bunt down in the 3rd inning. And it's grounded foul over by the Red Sox dugout. First base side for Carl Everett. When it comes to Carl Everett about how close he is, especially from the left side to the plate. And the point of contention here that got him into a mess at Fenway Park. Doesn't appear to be as close as he was at one point. Still pretty close, but not as close.
That all started, I believe, was that against the Mets and Bobby Valentine was the manager?
Yes, I believe you're correct. Three and one to Everett. 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Everett lifts it in the air to right. Nixon moving back now in, and Wynn's going to play with it, but Trott is there to make the catch. 1-2-3, top of the 5th for Pedro. On to the bottom of the 5th. 7-0 Red Sox. Back at Fenway, 7-0. Red Sox on top on to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Kevin Millar to lead it off as the Red Sox sent 10 men to the plate in the 4th and scored 5 times. And Millar sends this down the left field line, foul.
Well, we'd like to send along best wishes to Matt Retchik, who was recovering from brain surgery at Deaconess Hospital. And we certainly hope everything's going well.
2 fouled off the right side. Is that hospital here in Boston?
Deaconess, yep. Just down the street a bit.
0-2, and it is 1-2 to Millar. It'll be Millar, Nixon, and Miller in the inning. Red Sox so far getting some great pitching tonight from Pedro Martinez through the first 5, but Jason Shield now up in the Boston bullpen. The Red Sox on top by 7, on top 7-0 right now as they bat.
Well, with the lead the Red Sox have, and the fact that Pedro on a cool night, we may not see too much more of him in this ball game.
Millar sends it foul down the right field line. Well,
matter of fact, if the Red Sox were able to put a few more runs on the board this inning, it could be the end. That's why they have Shield going maybe up in the bullpen right now.
Thrown 69 pitches in the game tonight, and Grady did say while they were not overly concerned that they would be precautionary, as this one misses to Millar, and he works a walk to begin things here in the inning. Timeout for the Heineken. What's on tap? The Anaheim Angels here tomorrow night for the first game, and the first one will be on UPN 38 in Boston. Nesson outside of Boston. Fox has the game on Saturday at 1:20, and we're back with you on Sunday at 1:30. Our start time against the world champion Anaheim Angels. And he'll be working all 3 of those games this weekend. Jerry working the Fox game along with Josh Lewin.
And Anaheim playing a little bit better. They've won a couple in a row, although they trailed tonight against the Yankees. Anaheim back tonight at that 500 mark.
Apparently their sale went through today, so their club was bought.
So Disney's out, huh?
Mm-hmm. In a year where Anaheim could have 2 world champions, the Anaheim Angels and certainly Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, they got the 3-zip lead now over Bob Kurtz's Minnesota Wild.
And there for a strike to Nixon. And Popple has been on since last inning when Alan Bennis left after 3+. And Van Popple worked the remainder of the inning. He's charged with 1 run of his own. Jason Shield continuing to warm in the Boston bullpen as Nixon strikes out. Tried to hold up in the middle, could not. First strikeout for Todd Van Poppel.
Like a slider here from Van Poppel to pick up the strikeout. Down and in on Trot Nixon. At the beginning of the season, Trot had quite a few strikeouts that he had built up early, but has cut back on those. That's his 19th now, but he's walked 15 times. He's kind of raised that walk level and certainly cut down on the strikeout numbers.
That's some pretty high strikeout numbers in spring training, if I'm not mistaken, also. Not a great barometer, but a tough spring. This is to Bill Miller. It's 1-1. Miller's been on base twice tonight, a walk and a triple, and has driven in 2. Did he go? They'll check at third. Yes, he did, says Larry Young, the third base umpire. They tried to hold up.
It looked like a pretty good call from that angle.
Line and cut at third by Blaylock. They will double off Millar at first, and that'll do it. So we played 5-7-0 Red Sox.
All Red Sox so far on this one, 7-0 as we go to the 6th inning. We'll stay tuned after the game for WB Mason's Extra Innings, New England's Red Sox post-game show. Extra highlights, extra interviews, and extra analysis hosted by Bob Rogers and a new lineup of studio analysts. After the last inning, the action is just beginning. Todd Walker expected to join the fellas tonight after the ball game. That's pretty good to make a commitment to do the show prior to your performance. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to be trapped in a situation where I had a lousy night and then had to go on a television show.
So you would want to make that decision after the game?
I probably would rather not do it at all, to be quite honest with you, because you don't know what's going to happen, you know, so why commit? Some guys don't mind. They're very comfortable doing that, but I'd rather be on the Mass Pike.
Truth be told.
0 for 4, you know.
Well, Todd Walker has a hit tonight. He's 1 for 3 and will be with the Bobs after the game. This is in the center field, a base hit for Hank Blaylock, who has held hitless so far tonight, the league leader in batting average coming in, but has a base hit here, and the Rangers have the lead man on in the 6th as Pedro's back out there on the mound.
9-game hitting streak now for Blaylock, the league's leading hitter in the American League. Fastball up and away, hooks it right back up the middle for the base hit.
And it'll bring up A-Rod, who walked in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 3rd. One of 8 strikeouts tonight for Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, it's nothing against the fellas on the show. It's just that you want to be on a show with a good attitude, you know, upbeat, and, you know, but
you go 0 for 4 and punch out 3 times.
It's hard to turn it around and, you know, be pleasant and everything and come off looking bad and people don't like you and
unfriendly. On the ground towards Miller at 3rd. He'll try to start it to 2nd for 1, on to 1st, and it's not in time. In hard at 2nd went Blaylock.
Yeah, he just got enough of Todd Walker at 2nd base to cause Walker to throw a little changeup to 1st base, and not able to complete the double play. The ball's not really hit all that hard either. He was jammed on that pitch. Comes across the bag, gets taken out, and just a little bit late at 1st base. A-Rod hustling hard all the way down the line.
One out, one on. Rafael Palmeiro's 0 for 2. He's grounded back to the mound and out to 1st.
Well, our crack staff has given us some information on guys that have been on the post-game show, and I think it's a good thing to commit early now. I changed my mind.
It's been a good decision for them.
Nixon homered and had 2 hits prior to going on. Shea Hillenbrand 4 RBI, 3 hits. Brandon Lyon picked up his 5th save. He was a post-game guest. Fossum didn't play and Millar didn't play, so they're in a good mood. They didn't make any outs or give up any home runs or anything, so I mean, they've had good luck.
Off the bat of Palmeiro, Ortiz into foul ground, ranging to the Boston dugout, and he can't make the catch. Had one more step to go. Ortiz really didn't know it, as he never took his eye off the ball and can't get it.
Now, one thing about Fenway, unlike some of the other ballparks that have a railing, there's nothing in front of the Red Sox dugout or the 3rd base dugout. So when you're trying to keep your eye on the ball, you really don't have much room for error. Plus, I didn't see a lot of help there from some of his teammates. He was kind of much on his own there.
They're a good distance away.
Yeah.
1-1 to Palmeiro. And the shift on for Palmeiro, and it doesn't work. Through the right side under the glove of Nomar, and heading for 3rd goes A-Rod on the single by Palmeiro. 3 infielders on the right side, and he still finds a way to get one through.
Number 19, Juan Gonzalez.
There you see the shift, and just to the left of Garciaparra. He'll go into the dive, can't quite knock it down, and a little 1st and 3rd action here against Pedro in the 6th inning.
It'll bring up Juan Gonzalez. So it's been a good thing to go on the.
Yeah, those guys have committed early. They've had a lot of success in the game, and it's been a very pleasant experience to be on the W.B. Mason postgame show.
Juan Gonzalez doubled his last time up, 1 for 2 tonight. As Pedro has gone 5 1/3 shutout innings so far tonight. Texas, for the first time in the game, has a base runner at 3rd. Popped up, Into shallow center. Nomar headed out. Damon coming in. And Johnny will make the catch. Staying at third base is Rodriguez, with Damon not deep at all in center field, retrieving out number 2.
Left fielder, number 21, Ruben Sierra.
Pedro Martinez working here in the 6th inning. And at 79 pitches in the game, 54 strikes. And he faced Ruben Sierra. His first year in the big leagues was 1986. And he made it up to the Texas Rangers for the first time. Born in Puerto Rico, but resides in Miami, Florida during the offseason. His major league career has now spanned 14 seasons.
Went away for a little while from the big leagues and has returned, and he's always done a pretty decent job against Pedro. Got a hit tonight, 286 coming into the game.
This is his third go-around as a member of the Texas Rangers. A strike to Sierra. 1-2 now. Pedro Martinez with 8 strikeouts through 5 2/3. A-Rod's at third. Palmeiro over at first. And the 1-2. And a piece to stay alive. Red Sox out hitting Texas 9-5 as the Rangers bat here in the top of the 6th inning. Pedro strikeout high, 10 on the season. Foul to our left, backing out of play. Actually 10 on the road, 12 at home is the most for Pedro this season. He did that against the Minnesota Twins. His 12K performance Saturday day game against the Twins right here at Fenway is part of a complete game 9-1 victory. And 10Ks were at Anaheim on the 27th of April. Woody here with the 1-2. And Sierra sends it to center field. Damon back and under to make the catch to end the inning. We've now played 5 1/2, 7-0 Boston.